The tactical landscape surrounding the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping investigation has undergone a massive forensic shift, characterized by the deployment of a white containment tent directly over the primary point of egress at her residence, a move that signals the transition from a search and rescue operation into a high-intensity forensic recovery phase where every microscopic fiber and drop of biological evidence is now being shielded from environmental degradation. This white tent is not merely a logistical tool, it is a pattern interrupt for the entire community, signifying that the blood trail previously identified leading from the front door to the driveway has reached a level of evidentiary significance that requires a controlled, UV-protected environment for advanced luminol processing and bloodstain pattern analysis. When we analyze the physics of this scene, we are looking at the potential for a violent struggle that moved from the interior threshold to a waiting vehicle, and the tent ensures that forensic technicians can map the velocity and directionality of every droplet without interference from sunlight or moisture, which is critical for reconstructing the exact movements of both Nancy Guthrie and her masked abductor. This development comes as the investigation reaches day 12, a period often described by forensic experts as the valley of the investigative cycle, where the initial peak of adrenaline and local leads begins to plateau. Yet the deployment of this tent suggests that a new peak of physical evidence has been reached, possibly through the discovery of DNA or high-velocity impact spatter that was previously overlooked. Simultaneously, the focus has expanded to Annie Guthrie's home and the surrounding ground search zones, indicating that investigators are working on a targeted radius theory, where the proximity of family members suggests the suspect may have conducted pre-operational surveillance on both locations to determine the path of least resistance. The stakes were further escalated when a black tactical glove was recovered on Campbell Avenue, roughly 1 mile from the Guthrie residence, a location that serves as a primary tactical exit route connecting the neighborhood to the main transit arteries. This glove is currently being treated as the smoking gun of the physical evidence chain, as it directly matches the dark handwear seen on the masked figure captured in the grainy, high-contrast surveillance footage at Nancy's door. The geography of Campbell Avenue is crucial. It is a high-traffic corridor, but one that offers multiple blind spots where a suspect might feel comfortable discarding incriminating evidence in a moment of post-abduction panic, and forensic teams are now conducting a grid search of that entire road to look for secondary items like discarded zip ties, duct tape remnants, or digital storage devices. The technical analysis of that glove is now the top priority at the state lab, where technicians are utilizing touch DNA recovery methods to pull skin cells from the interior lining and friction ridge impressions from the exterior, which could provide a direct link to a suspect already in the CODIS database. While the physical search intensifies, the digital theater of this case has become equally volatile, with reports of a Bitcoin ransom note surfacing demanding a cryptocurrency payment in exchange for Nancy's location, a move that introduces a cyber extortion element that both complicates and aids the investigation. Modern digital forensics can track the blockchain breadcrumbs of such demands, and investigators are likely utilizing geofence warrants to identify every mobile device that was active on Campbell Avenue at the time the glove was dropped, effectively creating a digital net to catch the masked predator. This is gunboat diplomacy in a domestic investigative setting. The authorities are using the silence of the white tent to signal to the kidnapper that the forensic trap is closing, and the transition from traditional search methods to advanced data harvesting, including car-computer infotainment logs and doorbell camera mesh networks, means the suspect's window of anonymity is rapidly shrinking. We must consider the what-if scenario. If the DNA on the glove matches the blood under the tent, the case moves from a kidnapping to a capital crime pursuit, triggering an Article 5 level community lockdown where every local resource is diverted to the apprehension of this high-value target. The suspect's decision to wear a mask and gloves suggests a level of premeditation and forensic awareness. But the amateur mistake of dropping a glove a mile away indicates a breakdown in tactical discipline, the panic threshold, which is exactly what investigators are currently exploiting. As the white tent stands as a silent sentinel over the Guthrie driveway, the general's question for the community is this: given the specific focus on Campbell Avenue and the sophisticated nature of the Bitcoin demand, are we looking at a local predator who is attempting to cosplay as a professional kidnapper, or is this a targeted multi-phase abduction where the glove was a deliberate decoy left to lead investigators away from the true transit path? Every tactical data point we have suggests that the next 48 hours will be the most critical since Nancy vanished, as the state lab's results on the glove DNA will either confirm a suspect or force the investigation back into a data mining phase that could last weeks. The tension is at a breaking point, and the silence from the Guthrie family and the authorities is not a sign of a cold case, but the sound of a massive coordinated trap being set for a predator who thought he could outrun the digital and forensic reach of the law. Stay alert. Monitor your local surveillance feeds for any dark vehicles matching the Campbell Avenue timeline, and leave your tactical assessment in the comments below, because the evidence under that tent is about to speak. And when it does, the shift from investigation to apprehension will be instantaneous. Dismissed.